Welcome, everyone. I think we will, as always, give everyone a minute or two to join in.
Just going to readjust the sharing. I promised I wouldn't mess it up, but I messed it up, of course.
That's the beauty of being live.
Yeah, that's the beauty of using Zoom once per year, I think. Okay. You guys see what I am sharing?
Yes.
Great.
No.
Are you being funny or are you being
serious?
serious?
No, actually, I'm being pretty nervous right now.
No one believes you will be nervous, Christopher.
Messing up, yes, with no. It's a bad slide.
I see a black screen.
What?
Which is trying to.
Looks good on my side, Anna.
Yeah, here as well.
Okay.
All right, I can see people are joining. I think I will kick off anyway. I'm sure that we will have some more people joining in over the coming few minutes. We're recording this event anyway, just to make sure that anyone who is late or missed it completely will be able to catch up afterwards. So I'm Linda Kuhnel. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Things. We work with deep tech companies internationally. This is one of our favorite projects, and we've been doing this together with God El and Ellevio for 4 years now. This is the 4th edition of Start4Climate. So I'm really happy about this collaboration because I can see so clear effects throughout the system. I would like to introduce 2 of the main people of making this happen. Anna Kvarnström from God El and Christopher Freud from Ellevio. Take it away, guys.
Thank you so much. So my name is Christopher Freud. I'm the Senior Vice President for Strategy and Business Development at Ellevio. I'm going to talk more a bit about what Ellevio is, so you know if you're new to the company name. And I have with me my co-driver, my partner in crime, Anna.
Yes, thank you. My name is Anna Kvarnström. I'm a sustainability developer and product owner at God El. So I guess it's time for you to take it away, Christopher.
Thanks. And again, like Linda said, I mean, this is the 4th edition, and it's actually a big thing for me. I mean, I've been involved in since the beginning of this journey. I remember where, you know, my seat in the meeting room where we cracked the idea, where we kind of, you know, threw up all the balls in the air, where we, you know, brainstorm about who should be in the jury, you know, how we came up with the name. So I've seen it from an idea to a real concept, where we've had 6 amazing winners with concrete ideas, winners that have scaled and actually made a huge impact. So this is a good day for me that, you know, we can cut the ribbon and open up this year's competition. But again, the main idea is not to be nostalgic about the Start4Climate concept. It's about, this webinar is to actually give you a good idea of the why we're doing this, because that is important. But also, I guess that you are very curious how to participate. So we're gonna explain that. And also one of our goals today is also to answer your questions. So we're having, you know, in the chat, we're gonna, you know, all the questions you have, we're gonna take them at the end. So hopefully you're gonna leave this webinar with, I don't know if more IQ, but at least some answers fulfilled when it comes to Start4Climate. And as Linda mentioned, we're gonna record this. So if you wanna watch this on repeat for hours, you can do that. And you're gonna access it from the Things YouTube channel, and it's gonna be uploaded in a couple of days.
Great. Yeah, and like Christopher said, just like if you have any questions throughout the webinar, feel free to write them either directly to one of us in the chat or for everyone to see in the chat, and we'll just pick them up towards the end. But before we get started, I'm going to be just a little bit nostalgic, but just to have a look at last year's challenge and what it looked like. So let's see if I can also manage to start this little video.
Try to allow yourself to go in depth on how you contribute to the climate.
That was just a very brief look at last year's challenge, and hopefully we'll have just as much fun this year. So basically, let's dive into this. Why are we doing this? That was one of the questions. So when we launched Start4Climate back in 2020, we spoke a lot about the ongoing climate crisis and how it is in many ways basically an energy crisis. And basically the main culprit here, as we all know, is the burning of fossil fuels that we do. And when we do it very inefficiently. And I would like to also boldly state that nothing has changed much since we started this competition. If anything, things have gotten slightly more precarious each year. So summing this up, what we have on our hands is a climate crisis. We have global instabilities, an energy crisis, a need for rapid decarbonization, wars, etc. And all these factors bring on new disturbances to energy systems, to trade and markets that are basically forcing us to change the way that we think about energy. So Start4Climate is, in this context, still one of our most urgent initiatives to date. And the energy sector is one of the world's main polluters and drivers of global warming. But the energy sector is, of course, as we all know, also an enabler of most of the things that we here today take for granted and need for our daily lives to function. So seeing since we now have spotted the main culprit, we also know where to start this massive transformation. So that is the transition to a low carbon future that has to start with an energy sector that creates a fossil-free platform for all of the rest to build upon. And in just 6 years, I used to say 9 years, but now it's 6 years, we need to have cut global emissions in half. And that's a pretty big transformation, but we are already thankfully seeing a shift where governments and companies are investing more and more in clean technologies such as renewable energy production, large-scale storage. Ellevio is one of the actors focused on this, and we will see that there is an interest in and also channeling of resources to energy innovations, since we have to find new ways of building our societies. So I briefly mentioned Ellevio's interest in energy storage, but I also know that there is a lot more to be said about what kind of role that they see themselves playing in the energy transition, and of course why they are doing Start4Climate along with us for the 4th consecutive year. So Chris, could you please tell us a bit more about what's happening at Ellevio?
Absolutely, and I think looking back at last year, we were bitten by the energy storage bug, and we were bitten quite severely, and that led to that we are invested almost 500 million Swedish crowns in different energy storage projects. Currently, we're actually building 80 megawatt of large grid scale battery storage. We also have some customer activities with smaller storage solutions as well. We have also invested in one of the winners before, actually, Flower Technologies. We have invested a lot of trust, money, and resources and know-how, and actually fostering a relationship with a startup company that we're going to work hand in hand with in this exploratory journey to actually capture the benefits of having a new type of electricity system that is based on flexibility, variable loads. And we are doing that in a new company that we created last year, Ellevio Energy Solutions. And the idea why we created a new company is that we believe that we need to be faster, need to have more competence or another type of competence, need to work more with innovation and more with startups to actually embrace a more outside-in culture. Because we are seeing that we are actually creating a new company, a new culture in the Ellevio group. And many of you probably know Ellevio, that we are one of the biggest electricity grid company. We have almost 1 million grid customers in Sweden, and we have done a lot of projects. We actually finalized I think last month rolling out almost 900,000 smart meters that going to help actually help customers better to install EV chargers or solar panels, or actually being part of the meters are part of the energy system that can actually that is transforming. And Ellevio, we had a management meeting this morning and looked at the business plan the upcoming couple of years, and we saw that wow, if we're going to build a new energy system that is taking us from 145 terawatt hours to 300 plus terawatt hours in just 20-25 years, we're actually building a new Sweden. I mean, building another Sweden based on a new system with new technologies, new partnerships. And we're going to invest, the whole industry needs to invest more than 1,000 billion Swedish crowns in the upcoming 20 years. And that is just on the grid side. And grid companies are fairly important because we are actually connecting the generators, no matter if it's nuclear, hydro, solar, wind, offshore wind, to the consumers, no matter if that is battery factories or if it's a villa customer in Sunne or whatever it is. We are connecting consumers with producers. So grid company is pretty important, and our role is developing, is changing. And we realized 4 years ago that we need to be better of working with new type of people, companies, and that also included actually the startup sector. And because otherwise we cannot succeed with our plan, our vision. And the keyword is together. I know it's cheesy, but it's also the reality. Anna.
Yeah, agree. I totally agree with you. So I'm just going to give you some background on Godel and why we're also doing this. So basically, Godel has been around since 2005, when the Good Cause Foundation established a group of competitive companies with a shared vision of, well, making the world a better place. Also very cheesy. But in Godel's case and in our sister company's case, that includes donating all our dividends to NGOs who are experts at what they do. Short story. And that is our core. But we also do a lot of things today that we couldn't even have dreamed of a few years ago or 15 years ago, and definitely at a speed that we've not seen before because the market is currently changing very rapidly. But our core stays intact, and our idea is still to create value that reaches beyond our organization, and we want to enable those that are the experts in each field to be able to focus on what they do best. And one way of doing this and staying on top and being part of the conversation is by connecting with other fast-moving actors like Ellevio, like the startups that are participating in Start4Climate, actors that are basically driving this energy transition alongside with us. And since last year, our partnerships, like our breadth of partnerships and offerings have expanded hugely, and now includes services such as controlling energy use and energy production through our app, smart services for EV charging, for heating systems, for solar panels, and much more. And there is so much more in the works, so much more to come. So stay tuned, basically. But what I'm saying is Ellevio and Godel are both on the front lines of the energy transition, and our best way of creating change is in collaboration with great partners. So having said that, of course, I also have to mention the other collaborators that are making Start4Climate happen each year. So of course we have Things, the Innovation Grow House. They help us navigate the world of tech and entrepreneurship. And they provide us with so many valuable insights throughout this process. They're also providing us with a Zoom account every year, and we're very grateful for that. And of course, our second collaborator is We Don't Have Time. It's the world's biggest social network with this solid focus on climate action. It's headed by the founder Ingmar Rentzhog. He's also been named the Green Mark Zuckerberg. So basically, when we don't have time, speak out. The word is very sure to get around. So that's very exciting to have them on board this year again.